So Oracle GoldenGate, what and why? So Oracle GoldenGate provides near real-time transactional data replication. So Oracle GoldenGate is a product which does replication from one side to another side. So Oracle GoldenGate provides you near real-time transactional data replication. With GoldenGate, replication may be unidirectional, bidirectional, or multidimensional. So that is the advantage with GoldenGate, that it supports your unidirectional replication or bidirectional replication or multidimensional. So unidirectional means one-to-one replication, bidirectional means both the sides can be active, and multidimensional means multiple sides are involved in the replication. So the advantage with GoldenGate is your replication can be unidirectional, bidirectional, multidimensional, or you can choose multiple topologies in Oracle GoldenGate like broadcasting, consolidation, cascading, whatever you want to choose. So this is what we have discussed in the next point. The replication can involve several sources and targets simultaneously and be used for distributing data for backups, hot standby, auditing, reporting, warehousing, and load distribution. So with GoldenGate, the advantage is you can have multiple sources and single target, or you can have single target and multiple. Sorry, you can have single source and multiple targets as well. So this is what it says. It can involve several sources and targets simultaneously. So you can have one or more source and one or more target at the same time. And you can use GoldenGate for distributing data for backup or hot standby or auditing, reporting, warehousing, or load distribution. With GoldenGate, another advantage is data can be replicated as is, or replicated data may be edited, transformed, split into different distributions, have metadata added or filtered using Oracle GoldenGate. So you can replicate the data using Oracle GoldenGate. Now, if you say, for example, on source, you have 100 schemas. You want to replicate the data of all 100 schemas. It is possible with Oracle GoldenGate. Similarly, say, for example, in those 100 schemas, there are 100 tables. You want to replicate the data of all 100 tables, or limit those 100 tables, like 5 tables you want to replicate the data of. It is also possible. Inside that table, there are 100 transactions happening, 100 inserts, update, deletes happening, and you want to replicate the data of only 5 or 6 records. It is possible. So with GoldenGate, you can replicate the data, you can perform data filtration. Also, GoldenGate allows for data transformation as well. That is another point. So transformation means, say for example, on source, you have in a table, you have salary and commission column. On target, you only have salary column. You want that the combination of salary and commission should be replicated to target salary column. It is possible. So you can transform the data. If you want to add extra columns, like source has 4 columns, target has 8 columns, you can use GoldenGate for that purpose. So with GoldenGate, the data can be replicated as is, or the replicated data may be edited, transformed, split into different distributions, have metadata added or filtered. Along with that, both DML and DDLs may be replicated in whole or in part. So GoldenGate allows for replication of DDL as well as DML transactions. So if you are working, so who should learn Oracle GoldenGate? Like if you are DBA, apps DBA, Oracle and non-Oracle database administrator should learn it. If you are working as PLSQL developer, technologists responsible for data replication. If you are working on cloud as well, right now this cloud is in boom. So if you are upgrading your database from, say for example, if you're migrating from on-prem to cloud, in that case, if you want to migrate your database with zero downtime, you can use Oracle GoldenGate as well. It is one of the hottest technology. Like what organizations do is they acquire the GoldenGate license only for short duration and for migration purpose, and once migration is completed, they revoke the license. So GoldenGate is getting very much used nowadays. So high availability data technologist, if you are working as high availability data technologist, cloud migration specialist, you should be learning that. So why learn GoldenGate? So GoldenGate is used by almost top banks and telecoms and large enterprises with big budget. So you get higher paid jobs. So I'll talk about US. So in US, the average salary of an Oracle DBA, if I talk about US, the average salary of Oracle DBA is 97,000. But if you have GoldenGate skills, it has shooted up to 125,000. Same way in Canada as well. The average salary of DBA is around $80,000 per annum. I'm talking about 60 to $80,000 per annum. But when you have GoldenGate skill, it shoots up to 145,000 in Canada. So GoldenGate is getting, means it adds weightage to your resume. Along with that, it helps you earn more as well. Same with UK and Europe as well. So if you add GoldenGate to your resume, it adds very much value. So it is used by all top banks and telecoms. So all top banks, name of bank in this world, they are using GoldenGate. Talk about telecoms, they are using GoldenGate. Large enterprises in all domains, GoldenGate is getting now used everywhere. So telecom, if I have to include AT&T, Sprint, Vodafone, everywhere GoldenGate is being used. Similarly, top banks, RBS, CIBC, State Bank of India, everywhere GoldenGate is being used. So today employers expect DBA's developers to know more than one task, in GoldenGate is niche and in demand skill. So I'll give you one example. Like you around when COVID started, during that time, right? I believe in 2020, May or June. During that time, the cloud was in boom. Like there was certification happening, and every Oracle, means at that time the cloud boom was in progress at that moment. So everyone was scared what will happen to us, like what will happen to DBAs, will there be less DBA jobs, will there be uh, will the job of DBA be secured, or are DBA needed in future? That was the question which everyone faced, and I used to get almost 20 to 100 queries. Like in one day I have received 100 queries in on my email, WhatsApp and Twitter. Almost 100 queries I received in one day. So I always replied one thing to them, that if you keep, see, every year there is a performance review which happens, irrespective you are working on cloud or if you are not working on it, in any organization. So each organization tend to give pink slip to around 10 to 20% of people who are least perform. Same thing here as well. If you keep upskilling yourself, if you can show your organization it's agreeable, like DBA, once we move to cloud, like DBA jobs will be, they won't be stagnated, but yeah, there would be less work, hence less people would be needed. But you need to upskill yourself. Apart from DBA, you need to add more skill to your resume. So if you add more skill to your resume, your job would be safe. So GoldenGate is niche and in demand skill as well. So with cloud implementation, customer want real-time replication or zero downtime migration from on-prem to cloud or cloud to on-prem. So go, so in current scenario, what is happening, as I already told you, right? Real-time replication or zero downtime migrations are happening. So organization want to migrate from on-prem to cloud or cloud to on-prem. So you can use Oracle GoldenGate to perform zero downtime upgradation and migration using Oracle GoldenGate. DBAs, developers, and architects can set apart by skills, stay ahead in career, and better paid jobs in Oracle. So this is about GoldenGate. Another thing I'll tell about, like these are the technical reasons. Along with that, I'll talk about like financial reasons as well. So organizations, lot of organizations, they signed end user license agreement with Oracle. So end user license agreement means they can use, based on the agreement, they can use Oracle. So Oracle GoldenGate is a licensed product. So if you buy a separate license, it costs a hell lot of money. So when you add it in end user license agreement, you are free to use based on the agreement on that terms and conditions. So it becomes cheaper, and you are many a times eligible to use GoldenGate on multiple projects or multiple servers. So what happens, because they sign end user license agreement with GoldenGate, they're free to use Oracle GoldenGate on any server or any number of machines. So in that case, they want to use GoldenGate because GoldenGate brings lot of benefits to the table. It benefits lot of organizations. So that's why organizations are using GoldenGate, and GoldenGate is getting, like, they are also looking for people who have GoldenGate knowledge. So this was about why, who should learn GoldenGate, why learn GoldenGate. So next is, we'll move to the topic of like what are different types of GoldenGate architecture, and then we'll move to 21C new features, etc. Okay, so what are different types of Oracle GoldenGate architecture? So there are two types of GoldenGate architecture: Oracle GoldenGate classic architecture and Oracle GoldenGate microservices architecture. Now I'll give you a quick history of Oracle GoldenGate. So Oracle GoldenGate was founded in 1995. So in 1995, remember, it wasn't Oracle GoldenGate, it was GoldenGate. So GoldenGate was founded as a standalone company in 1995, and it was named after famous San Francisco bridge, Golden Gate Bridge. Now from 1995 to 2009, it was standalone company. In 2009, Oracle overtook it, and since then it is known as Oracle GoldenGate. Now until 2017, there was only one way to configure GoldenGate, and that was through command prompt, GGSCA. Those of you who have worked on GGSCA, for those people. So until 2017, there was only one way to configure GoldenGate, and that was through command prompt GGSCA. So until 2017, it was called as Oracle GoldenGate. In 2017, Oracle renamed it to Oracle GoldenGate Classic Architecture. It renamed it to Oracle GoldenGate Classic Architecture. And they launched a new architecture of GoldenGate, which is called as Microservices Architecture. So microservices architecture is available from GoldenGate version 12.3 onwards. So from GoldenGate version 12.3 onwards, you have two types of architecture available in GoldenGate. One is classic, second is microservices architecture. So microservices is REST API based architecture, which allows you to set up, manage, troubleshoot GoldenGate through GUI. So now you have two types of architecture, as I mentioned, classic and microservice. So classic architecture is command prompt based GGSCA, and until 19C, it is available for both Oracle and non-Oracle database. Oracle GoldenGate microservices until 19C is available for only Oracle database, and it allows for better integration with cloud application. From 21C onwards, which we'll discuss, the support has been extended to 5 other non-Oracle databases as well for microservices. So until 19C, let us talk about, if you see in this slide, I have basically mentioned until 19C. That is, the reason is from 21C, the support has been extended. So classic architecture is command prompt based architecture, GGSA. So for those who haven't seen GoldenGate environment, let me quickly show it to you. So this is the virtual box which I have created. So GoldenGate is installed over here. So to log into GGSCA, I do /GGSCA. Once I do GGSCA, once I log in into GGSCA, you can see this is GGSCA prompt. So GGSCA stands for GoldenGate Software Command Interface. So if I do info, so this is the so this is called as classic architecture. So classic architecture doesn't mean anything, it just means it's a traditional architecture. Once which is available since beginning. Now from 2017, as I mentioned, they launched a new architecture of GoldenGate, which is called as microservices architecture. So microservices architecture allows you to set up, manage, troubleshoot, configure GoldenGate through GUI as well. So it's a REST API based architecture. So let me quickly show it to you how microservices looks like. So this is the microservices environment which you can see. So you have extract, you have performance metric server, distribution server, etc. available over here. So this is the microservices. So you can set up your extract from here by upon clicking plus over here. Similarly, if you have to set up the replicate, you can set up GoldenGate replicates over here. So basically it allows for, it's a REST API based architecture which allows for integration with cloud as well. So this is future of Oracle GoldenGate microservices. Then there is one more product in Oracle GoldenGate family which is called as Oracle GoldenGate Veridata. So Veridata is a product which is part of Oracle GoldenGate family. So Oracle GoldenGate Veridata is a product which is used to find the discrepancies between data. So Veridata, as the name suggests, it verifies the data. It verifies the data for you. So GoldenGate is a replication tool. So say for example, on source you have 10,000 records in a table. On target you have 9,000 records. So there is that discrepancy of 1,000 records, right? So what Veridata can do for you is it can identify the discrepant records for you and it can repair those discrepancies for you. The advantage of using Veridata is Veridata can identify any production. See, everything is related, means data is everything for any organization. So if any data issue comes, it can cause havoc. So to overcome that, that's why Veridata is used, and Veridata is used to find the data discrepancies, and you can repair your discrepancies as well. So upon repair, we mean there are those discrepancies of 1,000 records. So those 1,000 records can be repaired using Oracle GoldenGate Veridata. So when you go out into the market related to GoldenGate, you will get questions and interviews related to these three classic microservices Veridata. Similarly, any job support or any job environment you come across, any question in GoldenGate will either come from classic or microservices or Veridata. Now none of your query will come out of these three. So another thing I want to tell you is this Veridata is getting very popular nowadays due to these cloud migrations going on. So what happens is upon migration, organizations want to confirm whether their data is in sync or not. So what they do is they put this product GoldenGate Veridata on top of GoldenGate, and which checks the discrepancies between source and target. Once there are no discrepancies identified on the day of cutover, they can on the day of cutover you can identify the you can do the if there are no discrepancies identified using Veridata, you can do cutover without any issue. So Veridata is getting very popular. Another thing is, if you are looking to be GoldenGate certified, you get 60 to 65% of queries from classic architecture. Microservices contains 15 to 20%, and 10 to 15% of questions comes from Veridata. So this is how it goes. So learning all three prepares you like for related to GoldenGate. Any environment you can work when you learn all three. So this is we are talking about until 19C. So until 19C, it is classic architecture is command prompt based and it is available for Oracle as well as non-Oracle database. However, Oracle GoldenGate microservices is available for Oracle GoldenGate 12.3 version. So Oracle GoldenGate classic architecture, how it works. So Oracle GoldenGate is installed on top of database. So what happens is you have source database and target database. The source database, sorry. So your source database can be Oracle or any non-Oracle database. Similarly, a target database can be Oracle or any non-Oracle database. So you have GoldenGate capture process, which reads the transaction logs in sequential manner and captures the committed transaction. So remember, your redo logs of database contains committed as well as uncommitted transaction. However, it only captures, GoldenGate capture process only captures committed transaction. It doesn't capture any uncommitted transactions. So once those transactions are captured, it writes them to the trail file on local machine. So trail files are storage of the data. So whatever capture process captures, it has to write somewhere. So it writes it to the trail file on local machine, which are called as local trail. Once the data is available into this local trail, data pump process reads the data out of your local trail, sends it over TCP/IP network, and writes it to remote trail on target machine. Once the data is available into remote trail, GoldenGate delivery process reads the data out of your remote trail and apply it to target database. So you have capture process, which reads the transaction log, which receives the changes from the transaction logs and captures the committed transaction. Remember, it doesn't capture any uncommitted transaction. So for GoldenGate to work, if you find anytime, like if GoldenGate is already installed in your environment and if you find that data is not replicating, there are few troubleshooting steps which you need to follow. So one of them is you have to ensure that your transactions are committed, because if these are uncommitted, it won't capture. So once the transactions are committed, it writes them to local trail. Once the data is available into local trail, data pump process reads the data out of your remote trail. Once the data is available into local trail, data pump process will read the data from your local trail and write it to remote trail on target. So remember one thing, guys. One question which I regularly face is the data pump is not transferring the trail file from source to target. Remember one thing, data pump does not transfer the trail file from source to target. It transfers the data in the trail file from source to target. Always keep that in mind. So whatever data comes, it reads it and sends it over TCP/IP network and writes it to trail file on target, which is called as remote trail. So trail file on local machine is called as local trail. Trail file on target machine is called as remote trail. Once the data is available into remote trail, the delivery process will apply it to target. So guys, architecture of GoldenGate seems very easy, but trust me, if you understand the architecture of GoldenGate, you can easily set up GoldenGate. You can easily manage and troubleshoot Oracle GoldenGate without any concern. So keep in mind, this architecture is really very important. So capture process captures the committed transaction, writes to local trail. Pump process reads the data from local trail and writes it to remote trail. And delivery process then read the data from remote trail and apply it to target data. So GoldenGate also works in bidirectional environment. So bidirectional is nothing but two-way unidirectional. So in bidirectional, both the sides work as source and target. So in bidirectional, now what happens is, for bidirectional, you have extract process reading the data from site B, writing it to local trail on site B. Pump process on site B reads the data from local trail on site B and send it over TCP/IP network and writes it to remote trail on site A. Once the data is available in remote trail on site A, the replicate process on site A will apply the data to target data. So remember one thing, guys, each process in GoldenGate is independent of each other. So capture process is independent of pump and extract. Similarly, pump and replicates are independent of extract or any other GoldenGate process. Okay, so guys, if you have any questions so far, you can post in the chat window or you can post in the form which I shared with you. So I see there is one question from Brahadish. How do we use Veridata for bidirectional setup where I have application running on both the sides? Ideally, we have to consider one side as a trusted site for data comparison. How do we decide on which site should we do the trusted site? So what happens in bidirectional environment is, in Veridata, how it works is, you define one site as source, you have to define source connection and target connection. Okay, so you have to define one site as source and one site as target. So in bidirectional mode, what I generally do is I create four connection basically. So say for example, you have source site A and site B. So site A will have its source connection as well as target connection. Similarly, site B will have source connection and target connection. So once I have to check whether both the datas between site A and site B are in sync or not. So what I do is I run Veridata job as site A as source connection and site B as target connection. Now when you have to check other way around, then run the job with site B as source connection and site A as target connection. That way you can identify what are the discrepancies among the two. Keep in mind here, guys, there may be few rows which are in flight. GoldenGate Veridata, what is the advantage of using Veridata is Veridata takes care of in-flight rows as well. So in-flight rows means, say for example, on source you have at 10 a.m. you did one record commit, and immediately you ran the Veridata job before it could be replicated to target. Right, so on source that record is already there, but on target it doesn't exist. What Veridata can do, so that is called as in-flight row. In-flight row means the record has been committed on source, but it is yet to be applied on target database, but you have invoked the Veridata job. So what happens in that case is, the advantage in that case is Veridata can take care of in-flight rows for you. So whatever rows are in flight, Veridata will not report those as discrepant. So that is the advantage. So Veridata can work in bidirectional or unidirectional environment. You just have to, so there the configuration needs to be done based on your understanding and requirement. Okay. Okay. So let us now discuss about Oracle GoldenGate 21C new features. So guys, if you have any questions, feel free to post it into the chat window and I'll answer those queries for you. Let me check if I have received any question on either. Okay, so if you have any questions, you can post anytime. Okay, so this is classic architecture as I told. So classic architecture is GGSCI based architecture. So now let me discuss with you few 21C new features. So Oracle GoldenGate is available with microservices architecture for databases other than Oracle as well. So as I mentioned to you earlier, until 19C, Oracle GoldenGate microservices was available only with Oracle database. But with release 21C, Oracle GoldenGate microservices is available for 5 other databases, or 5 databases in total including Oracle. So now the support of microservices has been extended to SQL Server, DB2 and MySQL database. And there is one more database, I believe. So at least, so the support for Oracle database, for support for Oracle GoldenGate microservices has been extended to more database other than Oracle. That is one feature. Another feature is Oracle database unified build support. So that is one of the major change in 21C. So what's that is, like I'll show with example to you. So when you install Oracle GoldenGate 19c, let me exit. So I'll go to the binaries where the binaries are present, u01/home/oracle/software gg_classic. FBO. So this is the 19c binary. Right now I'm showing to you. Okay. So I'll run the installer. To install Oracle GoldenGate, I'll run installer of Oracle GoldenGate. So this is 19c, guys. Remember, this is 19c. What I'm showing it to you. Let us wait for Oracle Universal installer to pop up. Guys, again I'm repeating, if you have any question, you can post it in the chat window. So in the meanwhile, this is popping up. I hope you are able to follow the session and the session is clear to you. Just give me thumbs up or yes in chat if you like, if you are able to follow. Okay, so it will now pop up. So it does some checks in the background checks, like you should have sufficient temp space, swap space, and display should be set up properly to achieve the same. So to show that feature, like what's that unified build support means, that's what I want to show you. So that will make it clear to you. So that's why I'm waiting. Okay, so when you log into this Oracle GoldenGate, so this is 19c, guys. I'm again repeating. So what happens in 19c when you install Oracle GoldenGate? You must have seen this. For those who have already installed or attended my previous sessions or attended my training, you must have seen this, that when you install Oracle GoldenGate 19c, it asks you that for which database version you want to use this GoldenGate for. So select the database for this Oracle GoldenGate installation. Whether do you want to use this GoldenGate for Oracle database 19c, 18c, 12c, or 11c. So you have to select the correct database when you install 19c. Now so the reason why it does is, let me tell you before I proceed to unified build support is, so the reason why it does is, when you start GoldenGate, it looks for the database binaries. It needs the database binaries to invoke itself. So if you don't select the correct binaries, like there are library files which are there in Oracle GoldenGate, in Oracle database. I'll show it to you if I'm telling you this much thing. So actually I'm installing database on this server. So cd /u01 app Oracle product. So this is the place where all the libraries of databases are present. So if you see, there is if I take one library, so you have this libcell12.ca. So in 18c it will be libcell18.a or so. Similarly libcell19.so in 19c it would be. So when you invoke ggSCI and you don't select the correct version, so what happens is, it checks the libraries present in that location, and if it is unable to find those libraries, it won't invoke. So that is why it is really very important for you until 19c to select the correct version over here. However, in 21c it's a unified build support. So unified build support means whatever database, like 21c, if you check the certification matrix, it supports 12c, 18c, or 19c, or 21c Oracle database. So now you don't need to select any database. It's a unified build support. So when you try to install 21c, it gives you this. So this is the difference. So when installing Oracle GoldenGate 21c, you won't be no longer prompted to select the database version for which you are going to install Oracle GoldenGate 21c. So you will see it like below. Oracle GoldenGate, select the database for Oracle GoldenGate installation, Oracle GoldenGate for Oracle 21c, and lower supported version. This is what you will get. So lower supported version means you could use it for 12c, 18c, 91c, or 21c. So this is the advantage. This is the new feature. So you don't need to select the database version for which you want to use Oracle GoldenGate for. So this is one of the question which I used to face from a lot of trainees, like why do we need to select this database? Why can't Oracle do a unified build support? So here's the answer from 21c. It has been listened, and now you don't have to worry. So until 19c, if you are using any GoldenGate version, 19c or lower, you still have to select the correct database version. But if you are upgrading to 21c, you don't have to worry about that. So one of the other thing I want to tell you, with 21c and 19c, now I am discussing about this. One more point, let me discuss with you. Now, suppose today I'm using this GoldenGate 19c for 12c database. Now tomorrow, organization decide to upgrade Oracle database to 12c to 19c. In that case, what you'll have to do? In that case, again, you'll have to do the fresh installation of GoldenGate, selecting the correct database version. So you cannot directly upgrade this Oracle GoldenGate from this to this. You will have to do the reinstallation and then do the reconfiguration and upgrade or transfer the checkpoint files, etc. But there is no direct upgrade possible. So that is another advantage of this unified build support from 21c, that if you upgrade your database from, say, for example, 12c to 19c, you don't have to reinstall Oracle GoldenGate in that case. Okay. So Shiv is asking one question, what about Oracle Home? That we have to select. In case of DB upgrade, do we have to install GG again for new GG DB version Home? I hope I answered. So
Ashish, my question is that in a response file of 21c,
Shiv, just a
I can.
Shiv, just a sec. If you have any question, please post it in chat window. I'll answer.
Okay.
Pankaj has a question. Suppose my source database is 19c and target database is 12c, and both are using same GG home and same host. How will I install GG 19c? You will have to do two separate installation in that case, one for 12c and one for 19c. Because again, as I mentioned, it uses the binary. Another option is you can use GoldenGate as a hub. That is another option. So if you want to use GoldenGate as a hub, there is another option which you can choose. If you want to choose GoldenGate as a hub as an option, in that case you don't have to worry. You will have only one GoldenGate installation, and you can either choose 12c or 19c. Use that to connect to both source as well as target. So there are two options available. One is to do local connection, one is to do remote connection. So if you want to use if you want to use GoldenGate as a hub, in that case you have an option. Okay. So this is GG unified build support. So guys, I again say, if you have any question, please fill out the form or post the question in chat window. I'll answer that question. Okay, Guru has a question. Suppose I installed 21c and we have DB version 12c. So if it is supported, like check the certification matrix of GoldenGate 21c. If it is supported, you can use that. That's no problem with that. But yeah, remember one thing, you need to check certification matrix first of all to ensure that your version is supported by Oracle GoldenGate 21c. Okay, Shiv has a question. In 21c GoldenGate, response file DB home location is mandatory. When we upgrade DB, hoping we need to do reinstall the 21 GG for new home, and later we upgrade the DB to 19c after binary installation. You can do that. That's okay. So You can change the home, means if Oracle home is changed, you can do that. No issues with that. Okay. So what are other features apart from unified build support? Automatic extract of tables with supplemental logging is supported. So automatic extract of tables with supplemental logging is supported in 21C as well. So I'll discuss about what does this automatic extract of tables means. I'll discuss about that. So this is another feature. Then enhanced automatic conflict detection and resolution for Oracle database 21C. Now automatic in bidirectional environment, automatic bidirectional CDR was introduced. Now in 12.3 it has some limited capability. In 19C they enhance it, and in 21C they are saying that they have enhanced it a lot. To be very honest, I haven't tested this feature of automatic CDR in 21C yet. Until 19C, yes, but they are claiming that they have enhanced it. So I haven't tested it yet, but yeah, this is a new feature. So I would not be discussing in detail about this feature, because to be very honest, what I believe in is I should be telling you in any session whatever I have tested myself. So because I haven't tested this, what particular things have been enhanced and I have tested it, I won't discuss much on it. But yeah, this is another feature what they have mentioned. Then autonomous database extract is supported. Now Oracle has Oracle autonomous database in cloud, right? If you know. So until 19C, only replication to autonomous database was supported, but an extraction wasn't supported. But from Oracle GoldenGate 12C, extraction from autonomous database has been introduced. So extraction of data from autonomous database is also supported. Then large DDL replication is supported. Now until 19C, like large EDL replication which is greater than 4 MB wasn't supported, but now it is supported. Now DB unique name with heartbeat table is also now there. Then enhanced integrated replicate and parallel replicate report. So there has been enhancement in the report. In dir rpt you get the report file. So you have enhanced feature in integrated replicate and parallel replicate. Now another feature is parallel replicate support for heterogeneous databases like SQL Server, DB2, ZOS, and MySQL has been. So parallel replicate support for multiple non-Oracle database has been introduced as well. So prior to 21C, so just before I proceed, let me quickly give you the overview of parallel replicate. So there are multiple types of replicate. So parallel replicate is one of the feature which was introduced in GoldenGate version 12.3, but it was initially available only for Oracle database. Now from 21C, parallel replicate support has been introduced for heterogeneous databases as well, like SQL Server, DB2, and MySQL databases. So from 21C version of Oracle GoldenGate, microservices architecture is available for heterogeneous databases and big data adapters. Now classic extract was deprecated from GoldenGate 18C. If you remember, like there are two types of extract, integrated and classic. So classic extract was deprecated from GoldenGate 18C. That means no new feature was introduced for for classic extract from 18C. However, from GoldenGate 21C onwards, classic architecture of GoldenGate is deprecated as well. So by deprecated, we again mean, it doesn't mean it is desupported. Now it means that it has been deprecated. So it means that no new feature will be introduced for classic architecture from 21C onward. So 21C binaries for classic architecture are still there, but there won't be any new feature which would be introduced for classic architecture anymore. So why this is happening is Oracle wants its customers. So classic architecture for Oracle database we mean here. So from Oracle GoldenGate 21C onwards, classic architecture for Oracle database is deprecated now. So classic extract will no longer be supported. It is supported. You can configure your classic. Okay. Classic extract is not supported from OGG21C. So from OGG21C, you can only configure integrated extract. You cannot configure classic extract in your environment. Remember one thing. So in classic extract, only configure integrated extract. In classic architecture from 21C or microservices architecture, you can only configure classic extract. You cannot configure integrated extract. So classic architecture is deprecated for below database. Okay. So for below databases, classic architecture has been deprecated for the ones for which microservices has been introduced. Oracle database, DB2, ZOS, MySQL, SQL Server, Postgres, as well as big data adapters. So I was talking about like 5 databases for which microservices has been introduced. So apart from DB2, MySQL and SQL Server, for Postgres as well, microservices architecture has been introduced. And along with that, for big data adapter as well, classic architecture has been deprecated. So the future of data integration. So now the thing is why Oracle is promoting its microservices architecture. What is the intention basically? So the future of data integration automation is through microservices, which enables organizations to transform, automate, and scale their data movement environment. Like microservices, you must have seen lot of technologies are moving to microservices now, like service now. So what is the advantage of microservices here? The advantage of microservices is things runs as a service in microservices environment. Things runs as a service. So you have multiple services running. However, in classic architecture, what happens? Things runs as a process. So it is process oriented. However, in microservices, it is service oriented. So it is future of data integration or automation, which enable organizations to transform, automate, and scale their data movement environment. Microservice architecture is released for databases for which classic architecture is deprecated. Future of Oracle GoldenGate is microservices architecture. Oracle is pushing its customer to microservices architecture. So Oracle is really pushing its customers to use microservices architecture. So there are few questions which I see. Let me quickly take note of those. Suppose I install 21C and we have DB of version 12C, and later we upgrade the database to 19C after binary installation. How Oracle GG of 21C will come to know about 19C binary? So the thing is with 21C Guru, so that this question has been posted by Guru. So guys, let me tell you, with this session, whoever asked the question, I have to take the name. So that's why. So uh, uh, Oracle GoldenGate binaries are uniform or unified from 21C onwards. So same binary works for 12C, 19C. So you don't have to worry. So automatically it happens in that. So Amit has a question, Amit Kumar Sharma. In bidirectional environment, how CDR works? So that is a different thing. So let me give you a quick overview. So CDR stands for conflict detection and resolution. So say for example, I'll give you one quick scenario. What type of issues could come in bidirectional? So suppose you are booking a movie, you are booking you are booking a ticket for movie in a cinema hall. Okay, now you are booking it online. Amit logs into cinema hall website and try to book the seat, and Ashish, me, call the cinema hall and try to telebook the seat. Okay, now we both see that the seat number 12A is available right now. And at the very same time, Amit tried to book that seat and Ashish, telebroker, also tried to book that seat because both see the seat available and they try to book it at the same time. But at the end of the day, only one person can get that seat 12A. Other request has to be rejected. So same thing in bidirectional. In bidirectional, suppose you have a row which you are updating on at the same time on both the sides, or if you're inserting the same row on both the sides. So one has to win, one has to lose. So this is what CDR does. So CDR identifies which one, so you can define your own rule or internal rule. There are multiple options to define the CDR. It's a big topic which we discussed during our training. So CDR stands for conflict detection and resolution, which works in bidirectional environment. If you have any question related to that, because we are not discussing, the session is not related to it right now, so hence we can discuss it later on. You can shoot me an email, or during the training I discuss it in detail. Okay. Now there is one more question. I don't have his or her name, so I cannot. So the question is, can we use Veridata along with GoldenGate configuration? We'll discuss about that because I don't have the name on that. Sachin has a question. Apart from Veridata, do we have any other method within GG to perform a record on regular basis, record count on regular basis between source and target? There are multiple options available, but with GoldenGate Veridata, it is the best available solution in the market. If you want to choose other option, there are other options as well, which are called as monitoring method. So I'll be soon doing one webinar on the Oracle GoldenGate different monitoring methods, or there is one webinar which I did couple of months back, 4 months back, which is available on my YouTube channel. You can go through that. Oracle GoldenGate different monitoring methods. So you can go through that as well. So yes, that answer to your question is there are different other methods available as well. But mind you, all those methods doesn't take into account the in-flight rows as I mentioned. And also Veridata is very easy to configure and the best trusted solution available in the market. Okay, now does classic extract not even supported to non-Oracle database 2 from 21C? So for non-Oracle database, yes, it is supported. Okay, so when you have to, so guys, one thing, I have few questions from like people who don't have name. I don't know if it's from one person or multiple person. So please put your name, then only I will be able to answer those queries. Otherwise, I won't be able to answer the queries. Okay, so Oracle GoldenGate 21C download. So Oracle GoldenGate 21C, you can download it from OTN website directly. Okay, so when you go to OTN website, you can download it directly. So there you will find Oracle GoldenGate 21.3 available for Oracle or microservices as well. It would be available. So you can download it accordingly for which database you want to download it. So this is the feature which we discussed, Oracle database unified build support. So compare it with Oracle GoldenGate 19C or prior OGG version. Where installing GoldenGate, you were prompted to select the database version for which you are going to install Oracle GoldenGate 21C. Now let us talk about automatic table extract feature of Oracle GoldenGate 21C. So to do that, let me open a notepad first of all. So guys, means I still have, so let me first of all discuss about it and then we'll move forward. So until OGG 19C, when you have to add a table in GoldenGate configuration, what are the steps? First step is to add the tran data. Add the tran data. Second is edit the parameter file. Third is include the table. Then save the parameter file and then restart the process. Right? These are the steps. Similarly, if you have to delete the table, what are the steps? First is edit the parameter file, remove the table from configuration, save, delete the tran data, and then restart the process. These are the steps which you need to do until 19C. From 21C onwards, auto capture mode is introduced, which is called as automatic table extract. It requires Oracle database 21C or later. So remember, if your database is 19C, you cannot use this feature. So for using this feature, automatic table extract, your Oracle GoldenGate needs to be 21C. Along with that, Oracle database needs to be 21C. It is disabled by default. To enable automatic extract table, you have to use the parameter translog options integrated params enable auto capture y in extract parameter file. By default, it is enable auto capture n in extract parameter file. So to use this option automatic table extract, you have to use this translog options integrated params enable auto capture y. Y means yes in extract parameter. Once you do that, an additional column, once you do that, an additional, no, anyways, without doing it well, once there in 21C database, you have an extra column which has been added to DBA tables, which is not present until 19C. From 21C onwards, an extra column has been added in DB underscore tables, which is called as logical which is called as logical underscore replication. Okay, so this column has been added in DB underscore table. So this is called this. The value of this would be either yes or no. So when you have automatic table extraction enabled, this column will be y at the database level. If it is not enabled, then it will be. So to use auto capture at table level, what you need to do is you need to use this command alter table name enable logical replication, or you can use add tran data at ggsa level to enable auto capture. So what you have to do is you don't have to follow these steps what we are discussing in 21C. In 21C, what you have to do for adding a table, you just have to do add tran data at database level or alter table name, add enable logical replication. You have to do. So either of the two you have to do. As soon as you have to do, your automatic extraction will be enabled. So you don't have to use them in parameter file or anything. You just have to enable it at database level, and that's it. So upon enabling supplemental logging tran data, the changes for that table will be captured automatically by the extract. To remove the table from auto capture mode, what you have to do is you have to use altered. So apart from that, one more parameter and add. So in 21C to add a table, you have to do this. And second thing is edit extract param file and use the parameter translog options. Integrated params. Enable auto capture y. You just have to do that. So these are the two things what you have to do to enable automatic table insight. So you don't have to add anything in your parameter file, just do it at database level. And how will you know whether replication has been enabled for a particular table or not? So there is an extra column which has been added to db underscore tables view. So just check that column and that will tell you whether replication is enabled or not. Now parallel replicate support. So parallel replicate support has been extended for heterogeneous databases as well now. It has been extended for heterogeneous database such as SQL Server, DB2 or MySQL as well. So parallel replicate was one of the feature which was introduced in Oracle GoldenGate 12c onwards. So parallel replicate was introduced in 12.3 version. So parallel replicate is of two types: parallel integrated replicate and parallel non-integrated replicate. So parallel replicate is a highly scalable apply engine for Oracle database that can automatically parallelize the apply workload and take dependencies between transactions into account. So it automatically take the dependencies between transaction into the account. Parallel replicate provides all the benefits of integrated replicate by performing the dependency computation and parallelism outside of the database. It parallelizes the reading and mapping of trail files and provides the ability to apply large transactions quickly. So parallel replicate is almost 5 times faster than its contemporary replicate. So it parallelizes the reading and mapping of trail files and provides the ability to apply large transactions quickly. The dependency computation, parallelism of the mapping and apply are performed outside of the database and can be offloaded to another server. The transaction integrity is maintained in this process. So parallel replicate ensures that transaction integrity doesn't go on toss and it is always maintained. Okay. So Roman has a question. As per OTN site, non-microservices binaries are also available. Yeah. So as I told you, classic architecture is deprecated. It is not de-supported. Remember. So you can still use classic architecture. Classic architecture is available for 21C as well. It's just that no new feature will be launched or introduced for Oracle GoldenGate classic architecture for Oracle, DB2, MySQL, Postgres, and SQL Server database. Okay. So there is a question: can we use Veridata along with GoldenGate configuration? Yes, absolutely. With or without, you can use GoldenGate configuration. I mean, consider we identified a data mismatch as a result of comparison job, and Veridata fixes it by apply those transactions on target site as we have bidirectional setup. How do we handle it, avoiding those transactions which is being generated in site B? So the thing is, Bradish, in that case, what you have to ensure is you have to ensure that the sufficient timing has been passed to ensure that GoldenGate will not apply. So repair, don't apply automatic repair. It should be manual repair in that case. Okay. Okay. So let us now discuss about Oracle GoldenGate microservices architecture as well, because the features which we are discussing, they are microservices architecture as well. So Oracle GoldenGate microservices, as I told, which it was introduced in 12c R3, it's a new REST API microservices based architecture which enable us to configure, monitor, and manage Oracle GoldenGate services using web-based user interface. Oracle GoldenGate 12c R3 introduces the concept of microservices architecture. In August of 2017, Oracle released two architecture. One is Classic and second microservices. So the existing GGSCI was renamed to Classic and the new architecture is called as microservices architecture. So microservices is still getting called as new. The reason being, it is not widely used right now. Oracle is pushing its customers. It is recommending its customers to use microservices. So microservices is like pushed a lot by Oracle now. But still, when you start learning, if you're still in the process of learning, I would suggest always learn classic architecture first, then learn microservices, because learning microservices becomes easy when you learn classic. So if you have to upgrade your existing architecture from classic to microservices, you will have to do the fresh install. So this is how your microservices architecture looks like. So as I told, it's a REST API based architecture, which so you have source database and target database. So in microservices architecture, things runs as a service. So there are multiple services in microservices architecture, like administration server, where all the GoldenGate extracts or replicates are configured. Similarly, you have performance metric server, which was introduced from GoldenGate version 12.3 onwards. Then there is distribution server. So data pump process of classic architecture has been replaced by distribution server in microservices architecture. Then you have receiver server, which runs on target. So collector process of source has been replaced with receiver server on target. So you no longer have data pump process in microservices. It is called as distribution server, and you no longer have class collector process in microservices. It has been replaced with receiver server for you. Okay, so let me show it to you in microservices quickly. So you have this administration server where you can see or view GoldenGate processes, or you can create GoldenGate processes. Distribution server, you have the distribution processes. Performance metric server is the new addition from 12.3 onwards, which basically allows for it is a performance metric server from 12.3 onwards, which allows you to monitor Oracle GoldenGate environment. So you can monitor Oracle GoldenGate performance metrics, graphical stuff, everything over here. Then you have receiver server. So receiver server receives the changes from distribution server. Okay. So how this architecture works is microservices architecture. Under administration server, you configure GoldenGate extract process, which extracts the data and writes it to trail file. Once the data is available into local trail file, the distribution server reads the changes from trail file, sends it over TCP/IP network, where receiver server on target receives it and writes it to remote trail on target. Once the data is available into remote trail on target, the replicate process applies it to target data. So GoldenGate extract, replicate all resides under the administration server. Under distribution server, you have distribution path created, which sends the data over TCP/IP network. Performance metric server is used to monitor the performance of Oracle GoldenGate environment. Receiver server receives the changes from distribution server and apply it to remote. Okay, so these are the advantages of Oracle GoldenGate microservices, that the things runs as a service. However, in classic, things runs as a process. Now, along with these four services, you have a service manager. So as the name suggests, this service manager manages all the services. So service manager basically has all four services under it, like admin server, performance metric server, distribution server, and receiver server. So service manager manages all these services in your environment. Then you also have admin client in microservices, which is equivalent of GGSCI of classic. So microservices is not only GUI, along with that you can configure command prompt as well using admin client. So what are the components of microservices architecture? Administration server, service manager, receiver server, distribution server, performance metric server. These are the components of Oracle GoldenGate microservices architecture. So administration server administers, supervise, manage processes, configure parameter files, etc. It is central control entity for managing replication components. Create and manage local replicate and extract process without accessing GoldenGate installation. Receiver server, it works in conjunction with distribution server. It handles all incoming trail files, works with distribution server as shown, provides compatibility with pump process in classic architecture. Now another thing is, like, is it possible your source is on classic and target is microservices, or target or source is microservices, target is classic? Absolutely, you can work in that. So receiver server provides compatibility with pump process in classic architecture. Distribution server acts as data distribution agent that supports conveying and processing data in command. It replaces classical data form. Performance metric server uses metric service to collect and store instance deployment and performance results. So it displays the performance results for you. You can use performance metric server in both microservices and classic architecture. So from 12.3 onwards, this performance metric server is available for both classic as well as microservices architecture. It is used to view process status, error logs, monitoring the utilization, integrated third-party metric tool, query and receive performance metric server in receiver in JSON on Excel. So microservices architecture is future of GoldenGate and it is recommended to. Now Bradish has a question, how do we maintain the high availability for GoldenGate service connecting to non-Oracle database? Consider we have hub data architecture where GoldenGate is connecting to MySQL server remotely. So yeah, that depends on the architecture you choose. So maintaining the high availability depends on multiple things, like how do you ensure your databases are highly available, how do you ensure that your server, if one server goes down where GoldenGate is installed, how do you manage that? So it depends on what type of architecture you use or what type of setup you use. So everything depends on that. So again, that is a separate topic. We discussed about high availability, etc. during a training session. If you still have questions, you can drop me an email or WhatsApp me and we can discuss in detail about that, because this session right now is about 21C new feature. But yeah, it is possible. How do we maintain or manage it? There are multiple options available. You have to consider, like, see if your data, so your question is really high level. In this question, you have to consider, first of all, what happens if database is down. We don't only have to consider related to GoldenGate. We also have to consider, because GoldenGate is dependent on database, and if database goes down, GoldenGate cannot do anything. Similarly, if server goes down, like if server has power failure, or where the server is residing, you have flood over there. So how do you manage that? You have to consider all those things before defining the high availability solution. So based on that only this question can be answered. So we can discuss later. Now Abdul has a question. Any info around GoldenGate hub server where both extracts and replicate configured to run on same server? Yes. So in a hub architecture, what happens is you have one server connecting to multiple source databases and multiple target databases. You can do that. How do we do that? Again, we'll be discussing about GoldenGate hub. How do we set up GoldenGate hub during a training session? Or if, because right now due to time constraint, like we have only 7 minutes left for this session. So again, it's a big topic. How do we set up GoldenGate hub? So we can discuss it later on. So in HOGG hub architecture, there will be only one admin metric server and some, absolutely. So if you, so you can have, again, it depends on the architecture. So ideally in hub, if you want to utilize it, yes, in hub architecture, there would be one admin server, one performance metric server, one service manager, absolutely. Gopinath has a question. Is this microservices console work similar to Oracle OEM? Can we configure and monitor more than one OGG setup using this console? So guys, one thing, let me be clear with you. OEM and microservices are completely different stuff. OEM is just used to monitor. However, microservices is used to set up, manage, troubleshoot, configure GoldenGate through microservices architecture through GUI. So GUI is one of the feature of microservices. As I told you, it also supports command prompt as well. So The answer to the question is, does it work similar to Oracle OEM? The answer is big no. Okay, you can configure Oracle GoldenGate and manage more than one GoldenGate setup through this console. Absolutely. So again, it depends on the architecture you choose. If you want to set up GoldenGate as a hub, that means there would be so one GG setup. What do you mean by one GG setup? So again, the answer to your question is, it's again a high level question. Can we configure more than one GG setup? So you can have only one GoldenGate setup per. You can have multiple GoldenGate setup in one environment, but one microservices environment, so that will be one GoldenGate home. So you can have only one GoldenGate home at one time. So if you want to have multiple GoldenGate homes on one server, yes, it is possible. Okay. Okay. So Oracle OCI GoldenGate service. So there is one more thing before I end this session. I want to discuss about this OCI GoldenGate services. So OCI GoldenGate service, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure GoldenGate service, provide customers with real-time data fabric platform to design, execute, orchestrate, and monitor their data replication and streaming data events. OCI GoldenGate is the first cloud service of any major cloud provider to offer an elastic pay-per-use solution for general purpose database replication, data integration, real-time data ingestion to cloud, and support for time series analytics while data is in flight. So OCI GoldenGate service was launched in April 2021. It is available on cloud, where GoldenGate servers are on cloud. You just have to set up monitor GoldenGate through cloud. So OCI GoldenGate service, what we are available with microservices architecture. So the advantage is for the organization which have licenses issue. So when you use GoldenGate on-prem, what happens is it is calculated based on number of CPUs, number of database cores, etc. However, this OCI GoldenGate is uh, 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 is pay-per-use solution for general purpose database solution. So whatever you use, you only have to pay. So for the time being, your service is down. You don't have to pay for this. So new OCI native GoldenGate service automates many functions and including configuration, workload, scaling, and patching while maintaining high availability. OCI GoldenGate fully encapsulated microservices enable customer to seamlessly integrate the service into their DevOps CI/CD pipeline as a first-class infrastructure as code service. So licensing wise, it is pay-per-use service. You don't need any license for GoldenGate. You are built for what you use. Licensing is not based on of CPU cores of source and target database. OCI GoldenGate service can connect to the on-prem database, so you can extract the data from on-prem and replicate it to cloud. It can extract the data from from cloud database and replicate it to cloud database. It can extract the data from cloud database, replicate to on-prem, or you can extract the data from cloud database and replicate to cloud database. That is also supported with OCI GoldenGate service. So this is the service which was launched in April 2020. So what are the concepts of OCI GoldenGate Cloud Service? Compartment. It organizes and isolates your cloud resources such as cloud network, compute instances, block volumes, or OCI GoldenGate deployments and database registration. Deployment. So a container for your OCI GoldenGate resource such as OCI GoldenGate deployments console. So all administration server, distribution server, performance metrics server, and receiver server, they form a deployment. So that is what is called as deployment. You can take a deployment backup in current state and it is retained for 60 days. You need to register your database for using this GGCS. So say for example your source is on-prem, so you need to register your on-prem database and enable the networking to use that. Then you configure GoldenGate extract, trail files, and replicate processes as well in GGCS. So let me check if any question is posted. No, none of the question over here. So if you have any question, you can post it in the chat. So guys, just to let you know, I provide courses on these complete course which starts from basics and covers up to advanced level. So I offer 3 courses. One is classic architecture, second is microservices, and third is Veridata. So let me tell you, all my courses start from basics. So basically I start with download and installation of GoldenGate, then move to setup, configure, troubleshooting, performance tuning of Oracle GoldenGate. All the latest features are included in the training. So it's a well planned course which starts from basics and covers up to advanced level. So I start with download and installation of GoldenGate, then move to the next topic. So the training is completely practical, whatever we do. So if you want to access the course content, you can access the complete course content using this link, which I have also posted in chat. So let me post it in chat window. So all the new topics, as I mentioned during the session, like automatic heartbeat table, performance matrix server, bidirectional auto CDR, GoldenGate upgradation, everything is included in the training, right? So you can access. So there are 3 courses, as I mentioned: Oracle GoldenGate Classic, which is also called as Oracle GoldenGate, then Oracle GoldenGate Microservices, and Oracle GoldenGate Veridata. So if you are new to GoldenGate, my recommendation always is first learn classic architecture, then move to microservices, then move to Veridata. The reason I always say first learn classic architecture is, I'll give you one example. Like for those of you who have worked on command prompt, and for those of you who have directly worked on like GUI of Windows, for those who have worked on command prompt, they know in and out of Windows. But for those like me who have started working on GUI, internally we don't know what is happening. So same thing with GoldenGate. When you start working on command prompt, it becomes easier for you to troubleshoot and understand what is happening. So that's why I always say one thing, that first learn classic. It's not like if you learn microservices it won't be clear, but when you learn classic, learning microservices becomes very easy. So that's my suggestion. So you can always access this course content. I'll open this course content with you. So the link to the course content is also attached is also pasted in the chat window. So when you go to this link, you will find courses for Veridata, course schedule, course content for Veridata, microservices, and classic. You can check this course content. So the duration of this course is classic architecture is 23 to 25 hours. So all the new content is included in the course. So there are a lot of success story training feedbacks available in my session. So you can also check my LinkedIn profile if you want to check any feedback or anything. You can also check my LinkedIn profile as well. For the feedbacks, you will find a lot of feedbacks available on there. So my LinkedIn profile, I'll ping it to you. So there are a lot of success stories. A lot of students are supporting their environment and they are able to support and clear the certification. So you can go through my profile and check the feedbacks available. Like you can see, these are the latest feedbacks. Few of them I haven't accepted due to like, otherwise what happens is like you have limits. So that's why. So Mr. Ashish was my lecturer on Oracle GoldenGate course I recently completed. In addition to brilliant lecture, we had the great pleasure of listening to. I would especially like to highlight Ashish's commitment to the student and his desire to come to their aid at all times with his vast knowledge and experience. So you can check all the feedbacks available on the LinkedIn, and these are the few feedbacks, success stories which I have pasted over here. There are a lot more than that what I have pasted, but yes, you can see. So a lot of students are able to clear the certification as well and able to get the job as well. So these are few only which I have pasted. So what the update regarding upcoming GoldenGate batches. So I'm starting 7-week learning Oracle GoldenGate challenge from Saturday 12th Feb. Upcoming Saturday I'm starting. So it's a weekend challenge. So session are conducted every Saturday, 7:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. EST or 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. IST. Sunday is reserved for practice purpose. So it's a 7-week learning Oracle GoldenGate Classic Architecture challenge which I'm starting. Oracle GoldenGate microservices weekday batch will commence from March 1st, 2022. The duration of microservices is 11 to 15 hours. Then Oracle GoldenGate Veridata weekend batch will commence once microservices is finished, whose duration is 10 to 12 hours. So if you have any inquiry related to the course, you can always post your inquiry related to the course. Let me post the link of that as well if you have any inquiry. So for training inquiries, post your inquiry to the link which I have shared over chat. So you can, if you have any inquiry related to the training, you can post that. So what are the offerings of the live course? The offerings are 1 year unlimited retakes. So that means you can join any session with me for next 1 year any number of times. So I conduct these sessions lot of times. I conduct classic architecture training almost 5 to 6 times a year, microservices 4 to 5 times a year, Veridata 2 to 3 times a year. So it doesn't mean you only can join the current batch. You can join any batch for next 1 year. I upgrade my course content regularly, so you will have chance to retake the session. You will have access to recorded sessions for lifetime. So all the sessions are recorded live sessions, and you have lifetime access to those sessions. You will receive step-by-step activity guide. The training is completely practical. So with the training, I'll be sharing with you the lab setup kit for practices. Along with that, one-on-one doubt clearing session you will receive. So if you have any doubts, you can email me, call me, WhatsApp me. Along with that, you have lifetime on-job support with the training. So any technical issues related to GoldenGate you are facing at your workplace or on your personal machine, you have lifetime on-job support. You have lifetime WhatsApp support as well with the course. So I have enrolled students WhatsApp group where other students of mine are there. So with that training, you will receive lifetime WhatsApp support as well. So these sessions are conducted regularly. All the sessions are practical and training is interview and job oriented. You can join any session any number of times for next 1 year. The sessions are live and interactive. The session will pave the path towards becoming GoldenGate expert. At the end of the session, my assurance is you will be able to set up, manage, troubleshoot, configure GoldenGate on your own, as well as able to provide solution and related to GoldenGate on your own to your customer. So if you are interested for upcoming session on GoldenGate, please fill out the inquiry form. The link is mentioned on the chat window. You can always post your inquiry over there, or you can email me as well at ashishagarwal@gmail.com, or you can WhatsApp me as well. My WhatsApp number is +1 416 871 5708. So if you have any inquiry related to, please fill out. So there are few FAQs from training, like will I miss anything if I join anytime? You won't be missing. You won't miss out on anything. What if I miss a live session? If in case you miss a session, then you can go through the recorded of live session, which will be available within 24 hours once session is completed. We also give you the opportunity to retake this course free for next 1 year. Do you provide lifetime on-job support? Yes, I do. If you have any queries with any of your real-time projects at your workplace, I will help you with that, and that's for lifetime. Even if you want support in 2020, 30, you will get that support as well. If you have any questions before joining, how do I contact? Fill out the inquiry form, and always remember there are no bad questions. So if you have any question, feel free to reply to this to my email ID, which is ashishagarwal@gmail.com, or WhatsApp me directly to this number 416-871-5708, and country code is +1. If you want to check reviews regarding the training, do follow my LinkedIn profile and do check. And as I mentioned, at the end of the training session, you will be very good. So I hope guys you like today's session. The feedback is really very important for me to conduct the session and to improve the session. So I always take each and every feedback very seriously. So your feedback really matters, even if it is good, if it is bad. If it is good, it really motivates me. If it is any improvement suggestion from you, that also helps for future. Like it will help you because I'll be conducting more sessions. Along with that, it helps others as well. So overall it helps community. So please, like if you have any feedback, please email me at ashishaggarwalag@gmail.com for today's session feedback. You can DM me at my LinkedIn profile. Please send me your request over LinkedIn if you want to connect with me, if you want to follow me. Please do that. So let me send that as well. So you can send me your feedback over there. Tweet me at Ashish Agarwal AG, WhatsApp me, and don't forget to like and subscribe my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Ashish Agarwal _GG. So please share your feedback. Guys, trust one thing, I always appreciate people who give true feedback. I'm not looking for good feedback. I always look for people who give me some improvement feedback. And trust me, I always implement those. I always take all feedbacks very serious. So if you have any feedback, feel free to provide your feedback. Email me, call me, and I'll take it very seriously and I'll try to improvise it in the next session. So if you have any post-session queries, now another thing is like the end of the session doesn't mean like it's end of the association. So if you, whatever topic you need for the next session, if you have any suggestion for the next session webinar or anything, if you have, feel free to reach out to me. Drop an email at ashishaggarwalag@gmail.com. Tweet me at ashishaggarwalag. Drop me a comment at my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/ashishaggarwal_gg. WhatsApp me or send a DM over LinkedIn. So I hope today's session was good and you were able to follow us. Give me a thumbs up if you were able to follow, or yes if you were able to. Thank you. So I'm receiving very good feedbacks personally as well as over the chat as well. Thank you very much guys for attending today's session. If you have any questions, anything, if you want to attend the training session, I assure you that training session is going to be very much wonderful and you're going to learn a lot. And if you have anything, any question related to GoldenGate, you can shoot me an email, WhatsApp me. I always prefer shooting me an email because that way all the queries are there with me and I can answer easily. So I would request you to do keep in mind, and for any questions, queries, if you have, please drop me an email. All the best for your future. And guys, stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you very much for joining today's session. Thank you. And if you have any doubt, any question, shoot me an email.